Well, it's another day and I'm swapping back and forth between projects. I am working on a sidecar, getting it ready for a trip, and I'm also working on what's behind me, building some sculling oars. So most of the time those are composite or plastic or graphite or something like that. And the cheapest ones I think are $500-600 that you can get. And they cost another $70 to ship because they're single piece. They're 9 feet long, almost 10 feet long actually. So I looked into options, and sure enough, out there's a company that makes a kit that you can buy with designs and a few parts, and you can actually build your own out of wood. So that's what I'm doing behind me. This big work surface back here and these plans behind me are to build a set of my own oars for rowing. So that's what I've been working on getting. Here are what's left of the 3 2x4s, 10-foot long ones, that I had to rip with the table saw into different various lengths. Those are my instruction sets. So I'm gonna get busy cutting out these 2 templates that I need, and then I'll start getting the bases set and go from there. All right, well, I've got my bases down. That's what's here. And then I put my template over each piece of wood. I use a string on both that's nailed in on both ends to draw a center line, and that's what this line is here in the middle. And then I've got these siding lines, so the goal is to get it completely lined up all the way through so that the wood and the template match up at the thickest parts, and they do. I've done that for both of those. I've got my thinner sidewalls in place, and I'm gonna get ready to put those on the template. All right, sidewalls are nailed in place, as you can see, right along the template, just right. And so now we're going to be putting, I've got a thin end on this side, the thick end on this side, so we're going to be putting in the core pieces here, and we're just getting everything lined up and ready. So it's another day of working on the oars. I have the base in place. I have the sides ready to go. I finally found some epoxy, and so I'm going to go ahead and get those sides in place and clamp down on the first oar. It's going to have to sit, I think, about a day, and then I'll work on getting the other one moved over and get that one epoxied. I've got tons of clamps. That's what all those are back there, and we're going to get busy on this. I'll try and show you what I'm doing as I go along. Here we go. Epoxy's on, sides are on, and we've got it clamped. Got the ends clamped together this way for the solid core pieces. And then we've got it clamped down using the edge of the work surface, which is particle board, all the way down. I think I've got, so that gives me about 24 hours that I've got to let this sit and cure, and then I'll be able to unclamp it and then move on to the next door and do the exact same thing in another 24 hours. Probably won't bore you with that, but when it's time to get the top pieces on, I'll bring you back in. Well, I'm back working on the oars tonight. So this one's already clamped. I probably could use all the clamps and do one side at a time, but what I wanted to do was be able to use the epoxy, and there was just enough in that last batch that I mixed up, about 3 ounces, to do both of them. This is what they look like. I've got the epoxy on. We just do the tops. And then in this section, and same thing here, you're only wanting to put the epoxy on where it's needed to reduce any additional weight and imbalances. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece and flip it on top of this and then clamp it down. It's been a couple days and I've let the oar shafts sit. So I've unclamped them, the epoxy's set, and you can see what they look like now. I'll kind of give you a closer up view before I start whittling them down into an actual oar shape. Right now they're just a couple boxes. But as you can see, this is the sidewall, so there's a thick base, there's the top piece, and there's the sidewall, and then one on the other side. And so from about here to here, they are solid right here. On this one in particular, it's the narrower end, so this will all be whittled down to a pretty thin size. Right here, I'll clamp 20-inch blocks of wood on here that will eventually be whittled down into the actual blade shape. And then all the way down here, you can see it gets thicker towards the edge, and then just a little bit narrower at the end. And then this is actually, there's a section here, and I'll whittle this down. That'll be the handle, it'll be round where I grab onto that. I hope you're enjoying this build. It'll be a few days before I'm able to get back on it with graduations and some travel going on. But I do have some exciting wood pieces I'm going to be putting into the blades. It's going to be 3 different pieces of wood or styles of wood. And I'll bring you along for that, show you how I'm going to do that. Some of it's straight from cut trees and some of it's from milled lumber. So I bring you along. I hope you're enjoying this. As always, if you like this and you like seeing this build out, go ahead and like this video because it helps me know what to make more of, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you're not missing anything that comes out. Thanks for watching.